Throughout the years of movie watching, I've always felt an empathy for the bad guy, and sometimes I find myself even rooting for them. Perhaps feeling as though they are people too, with exceptional talents of manipulation and fierce competitive desire to completely take over the world, or maybe just a city block. The bad guy was always the cool guy to me, and his dark clothing and sly attitude that even the ladies couldn't ignore. Today we'll look into some of the badass bad guys throughout movie and television history. First we have Rocky Sullivan from Angels with Dirty Faces, played by James Cagney. You couldn't tell this guy anything, completely stuck in his ways, right? Wouldn't go out like no sucker, until the end of the movie where his childhood accomplice pleaded with him to act like a coward, so the gang of thugs that admired Sullivan would change their thieving ways. Now was Rocky really crying for his life at the end?
Don't make me burn now!
Or was it just an act? Perhaps the title of the movie answers that question and confirms his badassness. Next on the list we have Castor Troy, played by both Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Whee! What a predicament!
And one of the coolest bad guys, might I add. Who didn't want a cool box to hold their joints, cheek lay, and of course two 24 karat gold 45 caliber handgun?
Oh, Peach.
Castor Troy was a badass, and not to mention he can grab women by the ass and nothing happens.
You know, I can eat a peach for hours.
Speaking of ass grabbing, we have Chaz Palmitary next on the list.
Did you just grab my ass?
And yes, he was a nightclub owner in Night of the Roxbury, but he also played Sonny in a New York classic Bronx Tale. Sonny was a badass, and it turns out someone does care.
Nobody cares.
You drove backwards through your neighborhood, and you rather people fear you than love you because it lasted longer.
Now you just can't leave.
What a cool thing to say, and an even cooler badass. Next, who could forget Imhotep from the Mummy series played by Arnold Vosloo, and a real Egyptian pharaoh reigning from 2630 to 2611 BC. Imhotep hardly ever spoke at all in the movie, but the man didn't have to. He had all of Egypt behind him, and that included all the sand, which he used to f*** your day up if you mess with him. He wreaked havoc and spewed chaos, all to find his beloved lover, Anaxamun. Sounds like a real man to me, and a real badass. And of course, we cannot forget an icon throughout movie and the realm of comic books, the Joker. The Joker might be the most misunderstood villain of them all. He just wanted people to feel happy, but ended up drowning in everyone's sorrows. That turned him into a monstrous murderer.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
Something so intriguing about the Joker though, but yet filling his role as an actor lately has driven the perfectly sane into complete insanity. A timeless character nonetheless who adapts with the ages, and a badass in a purple suit. And the granddaddy of them all, Darth Vader. He's probably the ultimate badass and just wanted to become the most powerful Jedi ever.
I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
What's so wrong with that? Vader had a cool cloak and a mysterious attitude, and one of the coolest weapons ever introduced in movie history, the red lightsaber. You guys have any other villains you want to talk about? Like, subscribe, hit me up in the comments, and that's all I got.